Hello, my name is Collection Connoisseur. I collect digital thingamabobs and video games. Today I'm playing Monster Train. This time on Monster Train, we're going to try the next expert challenge. That is Blighted Existence. The previous time, we completed Largest Lads. So we're doing Blighted Existence this time. The reason it's already selected is because I've tried and died several times attempting this one. This one's a hard one. Mostly that's because of heavy. We've got 7 deadweights in our deck with the combination of Magic Hand, which means once we draw those deadweights, they stick in our hand. So if we draw all 7, then we're only drawing 3 non-deadweight cards for the rest of the battle. And then Junked Up adds even more blights to the deck, 8 Calcified Ember in addition to the 7 deadweights, but at least once you play these, they purge. This is what I've tried before. I've tried Rector Flicker, Drag, and Fracture. I'm going to try using Little Fade instead. I'm going to go Exiled, because this is still a combination of Melting Remnant and Wurmkin that we have not played. So, we've got Little Fade in Primitive Mold, and we've got Echo Break. I do not know how this is going to go, but let's try. We've got an Entombed Explosive, Bounding Echoes, and a Fatal Melting. A Fatal Melting works pretty well. Entombed Explosive, I don't mind. Bounding Echoes, maybe we'll care. I don't really like the starting deck. It doesn't lead me down a particular direction. Seraph the Chaste removes half of every buff and debuff effect stacks. I think that's kind of bad with Little Fade, because I think Little Fade adds a bunch of buffs to herself. But I don't remember it exactly. Let's find out. So with all of those blights, even though we've got primitive molds in the deck, we won't see them as often as we do see them, but we can keep them in our hand once we do. So let's think about that when we upgrade our champion. So Extinguish helps other units. I don't know if we like that. Little Icarus, we gain spikes constantly. The problem with this one is it has to slay, and because we don't draw the primitive mold as much, Little Fade doesn't get as strong. But we're going to try, because I don't think Firelight is going to help us very much. Little Icarus. Now, we could get Lost Luggage. Ooh, Lights and Scourges cost 0. I want that one. That'll help us later, but it also helps us get rid of all of those calcified embers immediately, which is nice. Don't really know which one of these we want. I mean, we don't have any consume cards right now. Well, we do. We've got the Bounding Echoes. We are playing as Wurmkin, which means we could take consume cards more often than other clans. I think I'm going to take it, but I'm not going to hold very fast to it. Alright, let's go. I don't want a unit draft. I want Little Fade to actually kill things. And when they have armor 10, she doesn't kill things. Alright. She also doesn't kill those things in either way. We've got Bounding Echoes. I think I'm going to play 2 Train Stewards down here, so they can start dealing some damage. I'm going to hold Little Fade until she doesn't... until we have a primitive mold, or she gets at least 1 kill. And that's not happening this turn. Alright, Little Fade would get a kill if that one attacked Little Fade. Which we can't really cause to happen, can we? I'm going to play Bounding Echoes again. Little Fade could get a kill at the top. You know, it's at least a kill. Let's get a Slay in there with Little Fade. And then a Fatal Melting doesn't do any damage yet because none of my units have died. So we're just going to keep holding it in the hand. Okay, I'm concerned. I'm concerned about Little Fade actually doing much. I'm not concerned about taking much damage in this battle, because none of the things actually deal that much damage. So Little Fade is dying. There's not really a way for us to have you get a Slay this turn. We do have a Primitive Mold, though. So let's think about some interesting ideas. If we did 4 damage to this Train Steward, and we killed our own Little Fade, and brought back a Little Fade, which we can't because we don't have that much we don't have that much Ember. But if we could do all of those, then we could have it so that you kill this one and you die against Little Fade. We didn't get that, but we at least tried a bit. If we kill this one, then we take 2 less damage, so I'm going to kill that one. If we hit you, then at least you have 1 less spell shield. I sort of want to keep this around to potentially kill with Little Fade, but also, what are we doing? Alright, let's do the Echo Break up here. Kill this one. Little Fade is going to die. This one's going to get to the top and deal 4 damage. I'm going to Echo Break you to get rid of your spell shield. Okay. We need Little Fade to get another Slay. That's what we really need in this battle. More than most things, we need Little Fade to get better. And unfortunately, this is random. And unfortunately, we basically need to play this one up here and Little Fade in order for it to work. So we need to do this in at least in 2 attempts of Primitive Mold. Where do we want echoes? Does anything in our deck rely upon echoes? I guess they don't. Except for the Echo Breaks, I guess. Let's do it up here. We got a Train Steward that's not Little Fade. We got Little Fade. Alright. So Little Fade can kill you now. Let's have that happen. So the Entombed Explosive goes here, and then Little Fade goes here. And that means that you get 2 Slays this turn. Alright. And then we can also play this Train Steward at the bottom, so that we do a little bit of damage to the boss, which, you know, we've got to beat the boss too. That's a real problem for us. At least we can get some of the boss's lifesteal out of the way. Okay. Those cost 0 to play, that's a good thing. We have far too many things to guarantee that we get Little Fade back. But I don't see a reason to do much else. A Fatal Melting we're probably going to play on the last turn. Alright. You do more than playing an Echo Break. Ooh, we got Little Fade. Little Fade has Burnout 2. You have Burnout 1. So we should do Train Steward Little Fade, because then we'll do the most damage to Chains the Sighted. And then we can also Echo Break you so that you don't keep giving 5 health back. Alright, we did get our Little Fade back, but she didn't get another Slay. We didn't draw any new cards, so we're going to take some damage. At least we can play a Fatal Melting, dealing a fair amount, and an Echo Break, not dealing enough to matter. Alright. Well, we took a lot of damage in that first one. But we did get rid of a bunch of calcified embers, and we got Little Fade to get 3 slays. So I think that went okay. I really like Crushing Demise here. Obviously, Memento Mori would be good with Little Fade, because the idea is that Little Fade dies a lot. But Crushing Demise just kills a thing that has made it past Little Fade. Let's take that. I don't really want another Bounding Echo, but I would happily take an Echo Transfer, especially with Infused. Do we go for Remnant and Spells, or Merchant of Steel and Wurmkin unit? As far as spells go, I guess I can get out something from going to the spells. But I think I want a Wurmkin unit and use a Merchant of Steel on it. I think I want those things. So let's go this way. Let's peek in these two. Frenzy Stone. Frenzy Stone looks good. Looks good. We can afford it as well. Extreme Stone looks good. How about Seek Stone? I mean, we could Seek Stone a Primitive Mold so that we could basically guarantee get Little Fade back once. Extreme Stone almost definitely goes on Fatal Melting, because then it does stuff even if we haven't killed things. Alright, so we've got a Frenzy Stone up there. I mean, these are pretty good with a Frenzy Stone. The Shard Soul Carver will get its Inspire effect kind of a lot. The First of Kin would probably do well too, but it costs a lot more. And I think I'm not going to get Etch as much as I'm going to get Inspire. Let's do the Shard Soul Carver. Let's give it a Frenzy Stone, because I like Frenzy Stones and Shard Soul Carvers. And then, do we want it to have a Heart Stone? Probably not. We probably want it to have another red one if we can. Engage Pact. I mean, we could Engage Pact an Entombed Explosive on top of an Entombed Explosive, but I don't think I want to do that much. Let's save our, what is it called, Pack Shard amount a little bit. I am going to put an Extreme Stone here, because that seems really nice. Seek Stone. I really do want a Seek Stone on a Primitive Mold, so we can get back Little Fade almost certainly after the first turn. Okay, we did some things. I think we are in danger of dying still. Mark of Invasion would be really good if we happen to kill the top ones a bit. I guess we'll get our Shard Soul Carver and Little Fade at the beginning. So we'll kill at least 3 of the ones at the top on the first turn. Let's do it. This is a lot worse because of the haste. The haste makes this worse, it's true. I could Echo Break to kill you down here. I should probably play Bounding Echoes next turn. So I think I'm going to play the Little Fade at the top, like we discussed, and Shard Soul Carver behind. That kills all 3 of those. And then I could Echo Break you to prevent all of these from going up next turn, but then we have the same problem the following turn, right? Still, maybe by the following turn we'll have more things to deal with the problems. Now, we've got a primitive mold, which we will definitely play. I kind of want there to be more echoes at the bottom, because that's probably where we're going to play our echo breaks. And I don't see a reason to play one of the bounding echoes just yet. So, we play this, we get Little Fade back. Little Fade has Burnout 1, but she does kill 2 things. And that's nice. We also have primitive molds for her. And I think the scariest floor is the bottom floor. So let's do Crushing Demise down here. Alright, we killed one of the more scary ones. And then we just wait, I guess. Do Abounding Echoes next turn almost certainly. Don't like that my Shard Soul Carver is taking as much damage as he is. Because we have to defeat the boss at the end of this, somehow. So, first off is a primitive mold. We definitely play a primitive mold. I wish we had something to deal with all of these guys. Alright, I'm going to play Abounding Echoes. I'm going to play a primitive mold. We will play Little Fade here. You've got 13 spikes. So you kill everything. Almost everything, actually. That's really nice. I want to play a Train Steward. I want to play the Echo Transfer. Let's do that too. Echo Transfer on you. And then we need to play the Train Steward somewhere. I'll play it at the bottom. And Little Fade has 2 Burnout at this point. I mean, I can't play any of these cards, except for the Bounding Echoes, if we care to draw more cards. I think I want to draw more cards, especially like Entombed Explosives, so I'm going to play the Bounding Echoes just for the Inspire effect. Alright. Little Fade got several kills there. That's good for me. So we play a primitive mold. There's only Little Fade there, so that's still good. Let's start with that. Little Fade has Burnout 3. And we basically want her to go in front because she's got the spikes. And that way we can primitive mold her again, hopefully, next turn. So Little Fade currently kills 2, which I think is very important. So I'm not going to do something else there. There's nothing in here. We've got 2 primitive molds in hand, which I want to keep in hand for next turn. We have an Entombed Explosive, which I do want to play. We'll play it here, so that Little Fade still gets the kills. That does potentially mess up the primitive molds next turn. I acknowledge that. And then I think I'm just going to Echo Break the boss because I want to make space in my hand. Okay. A lot depends on us being able to bring Little Fade back one more time. Little Fade. Nope. Little Fade. Nope. Alright. Well, we don't have a chance next turn because we're not getting any more primitive molds. So, Instead, we're going to deal as much damage to you with what we have. I really wish we had gotten a little fade, but oh well. We couldn't do it. And I guess we're going to play this one. Because you do 10 damage. Technically, you do 10 damage too. Alright. And then a Fatal Melting. How much damage do you do? You kill. Great. Alright. My little Fade did get a lot stronger in that one. Another Entombed Explosive. I don't know how much I want another Entombed Explosive. This one does have Infused. We could staple another an Entombed Explosive to it. I think I will take it, but I don't know if I want it as... Oh, I definitely want this. Echo Infusion. Take that. Alright, Merchant of Steel and a unit seems fine. Merchant of Magic seems fine. Also, this 20 Pyre health might be good. But I think we really want to go to another Merchant of Steel and get a unit that we might sacrifice. Divine Temple as a value stone. We could put on a Fatal Melting. I mean, we definitely could do that. A Seek Stone that I don't want. And then an Engage Pact. You have a Speed Stone. So the Shard Soul Carver can have a Speed Stone. Not too bad, honestly. We might take that. And then let's go to the Concealed Caverns first. Oh my gosh. Purge a card, gain a card? Definitely. Alright. Purge a card. What is my least favorite card in the deck right now? We need all of our primitive molds. The Train Steward, of course. And a rare Melting Remnant card or a rare Wurmkin card. I mean, we could do either of them. I think I probably want the Melting Remnant card. I'm trying to remember what's in both of these card pools. One of the Melting Remnant cards reforms 2 of my units. It's a consume card, it reforms 2 units. We already have wing clippings. It'd be nice to get that one. But we don't get to choose which one we get. Rare Wurmkin cards can do all sorts of different things. I'm going to do the Melting Remnant. You know, I don't mind that. It's another way to reform units. Sure. It's another way to reform. It's a weird way to reform, but it's another way. Alright, remember we've got a Speed Stone and we might want to sacrifice this. Oh, the Legion of Wax. We have never mastered it. We're going to take that one with hopes to master it. Speed Stone. Speed Stone we definitely put on a Shard Soul Carver. Let's do that. Alright, the Shard Soul Carver is good. We still need something that I want to sacrifice to it. I think taking a Battle Stone for the Legion of Wax helps it a fair amount, so I'm going to do that. Even though I would like better stones on it, of course. Ooh. Ooh, I am thinking about something. Apply this unit's upgrades and stat changes. How does that work if we give it an extinguish effect of a tuned explosive? I don't know how it's going to work, but I think we definitely have to try it. So, we are going to sacrifice an Entombed Explosive to the Legion of Wax. Alright. This could be amazing, or it could do just 50 damage when the first one dies. I don't know how it works, so we're gonna have to find out by trying. Do I want 25 health on anything? Not really. Let's go to the next one. We are at threat level high. Talos attacks every turn and gains armor on slay. I don't like the armor on slay, obviously. Especially because we're playing with the Melting Remnant, which means you're going to slay probably a lot. Alright, Little Fae does kill one. At the bottom, first turn. The Shard Soul Carver we don't want to play at the bottom. I don't think. Yeah, I don't really want to play you at the bottom. I'm worried about playing you anywhere. But if I'm going to play you somewhere, it's going to be at the top. And I could do that this turn and we would get Ember Drain. Or I could do it some other turn when I think the Ember Drain would be better. I don't know. Let's play Little Fade, obviously. Spikes 25 means she kills the first one, and then we can Primitive Mold her back. Okay, that's all for the first turn. So I definitely want to play a Primitive Mold. Let's do that. We're not going to be able to play this turn because we're going to play the Legion of Wax instead. Because I think having the Legion of Wax out will be very helpful, probably. And I want it to die so that we can bring it back. So, I'm going to do a Primitive Mold. I'm trying to think of where I want the Primitive Mold. Probably want it at the bottom. We'll play Little Fade. Little Fade. Ooh. There's a little bit of a problem in that you kill Little Fade on the first hit and she does not get a kill. So I actually want to play the Entombed Explosive in front to kill you so that Little Fade gets a kill. Gets at least one kill. I mean, I guess we could have just played Little Fade in the center instead, and she would have gotten one kill as well. Now that I look at that, I feel silly about it. I should have just played her in the center. Okay, I'm still glad of killing you, but I'm not so glad that we kind of wasted the Little Fade turn that I wanted to have. Echo Break. I'm going to Echo Break this one. Should have played the Bounding Echoes, probably. But I didn't think about it until now. And then we hope that the Primitive Mold brings back Little Fade. This is the problem with Little Fade and Primitive Mold, obviously. We only have the one Primitive Mold. I think this is a good turn to play my Shard Soul Carver at last. So, Shard Soul Carver is going to go at the top. The Twin of Wax we want to play too. Oh man. Too many things I want to do. Let's play a Primitive Mold first. No, let's play a Shard Soul Carver first. Then let's play a Primitive Mold. We got back Little Fade. Alright. So Little Fade is going to go in the center to kill both of those guys. Kill both of those, do some damage to the bots. Actually, you don't do any damage to the bots. That's okay. We really wanted you to kill both of those. I think we should play this Entombed Explosive at the bottom. Also, I forgot to do Bounding Echoes again. I should have done that before playing Little Fade. You're going to go at the bottom just to deal 50 damage. I'm gonna do the Echo Transfer on you. And then we're gonna play Bounding Echoes now. Just so that we can draw more. Alright, we did get another primitive mold. There are 3 available, which is not great. Let's do this up here so you get your Inspire. We got an Entombed Explosive. I'm kind of okay with that because I want that one to die. We still can't play our Legion of Wax because we have Ember Drain this turn. I'm going to play the Echo Infusion on you too. Seems like we'll be relying on you a little bit more than I really want to. And then an Echo Break does 3 damage. Let's kill one of these. I don't want to play the Train Steward because I don't want it in the Consume Vial. Okay. Let's play the Bounding Echoes just because we want to draw 4 cards, not 3 cards. Okay, we can play the Calcified Ember. That gets rid of the last Calcified Ember. We can hope to draw a little Fade. Hope. Hope. Failure. Alright. Legion of Wax. We're going to play you in the center this time. That way all of those guys die, and you do some stuff. We're going to play you down here. You don't burn out this turn. We could play you at the top, but then we'd have Ember Train again, and I really don't want Ember Train again. Alright. Ooh. Oh, that worked the way we wanted it to work. I'm pretty sure. I thought I saw multiple 50s. Yes! They deal 50 damage on death. Alright, play the Primitive Mold first and hope. We got the Entombed Explosive. A different Entombed Explosive this time, but still we got an Entombed Explosive. So, we're going to play it. We're going to play it at the bottom. Do we want to play it behind or in front? If we play it in front, you burn out instead of getting killed by Talos the Architect. I guess we want it in the back. But you have more attack, so we do want it in front. Okay. And we only kill the front one. That's pretty bad, actually. Alright, we're depending a little too much on the Shard Soul Carver, I think. Because we just don't get Little Fade back all the time. This Echo Break, we could hit the boss, or we could just hit the Trusted Priest here. Or we could hit the boss for 6. Let's hit the Trusted Priest. I don't see that the Trusted Priest, hitting the Trusted Priest did anything, though. So I'm not sure I should have done that. Crushing Demise. Don't really want that. If we drew Hallowed Halls or a Fatal Melting, it might be really good. We're doing a lot of damage to Talos the Architect in the center. We don't really want to play Crushing Demise anymore. So we really want to play these 3 just so that we get to draw 3. Okay. And the Train Steward can't fit here, so we put you here. And then we do 2 Echo Breaks up here so that you get stronger. And then we see if we're winning at the top. I kind of think the answer is going to be no. Oh, we are winning at the top. And we got both of these. But, we're winning at the top. Let's win at the top. Alright, that one seemed seemed really bad. We didn't take any damage, but it seemed like it was really close. I don't really want Wax and Spike, I don't think. Formless Child. Formless Child is another way to do Reform, basically. It's not the same as Reform because it's returning a random defeated unit. That's not the same as Reform. It doesn't give Burnout. In some ways I want it, and in some ways I don't. What's the unit essence? Extinguish plus 20. We don't want that. I mean, the Formless Child would be great if the Legion of Wax is the thing that it's getting back, or if it gets back a little Fade. Or Shard Soul Carver, but we really want that one to not die. I think I will take it. It's kind of like another Reform. Ooh. I think I'm going to take Keeper of Echoes so that I can sacrifice it to the Shard Soul Carver. Because it gives it another Inspire effect. Okay, we've taken a lot of things. I don't know which one of these we want. Could be Fell's Remorse. Herzl's Compound is good until you draw all the dead weights. Most of the times in the battle, I'm not drawing 5 cards anyway. So I think Herzl's Compound is not as good as normal. Light of Seraph gives me space, which is not bad. I think Fell's Remorse is the thing I want the most right now. We've got some expensive stuff. A Wurmkin unit. I don't think I want another unit. I could duplicate a card. Don't know what I'd want to duplicate. We could duplicate Legion of Wax. I think I'd rather remove and get an artifact, though. So, let's go left. Let's look at this first. Another Extreme Stone, another Seek Stone. Has it been the same every time? Alright, upgrade our champion. So, Little Icarus 2. We still don't want Firelight. So, Little Icarus 2. Get your spikes faster. And then, I guess I'm going to look at the Wurmkin unit. Another Keeper of Echoes. So, we can't sacrifice that many things. And we don't have many other sacrifice targets that I really want to put things on. So, I think I'm not going to take it. Let's do the Unstable Vortex, remove 2 Train Stewards. Train Stewards are terrible, partially because they take up space in my death pile, where I'm returning random minions back to my hand. When a friendly unit dies, apply plus 10 attack to that unit. Huh. I would take that. So, Extreme Stone could go on the Fatal Melting again. Or we could not take it. I think I'm not going to take it. Let's do the Engage Pact, and we're going to sacrifice the Keeper of Echoes to the Shard Soul Carver. Part of the reason that we're doing it that way is because this already has stones in it. Okay. Let's move on to the next one. Non-boss enemy units enter with Spikes 4, and we get a random artifact. Spikes 4? How bad is that for our guys? We kind of want most of our guys to die, so I don't think that's bad. It affects my one guy at the top, the Shard Soul Carver. So we play Little Fade at the bottom. Unfortunately, she doesn't get a kill this turn. we... Spike's 33. Yeah, she doesn't get a kill this turn. But we still play her at the bottom. We play the Keeper of Echoes at the top. And then we click end turn. Okay, I like the Legion of Wax. Let's play the Legion of Wax in the middle. The Legion of Wax will die and kill the front one if we played in the middle. Otherwise, we could play an Entombed Explosive, which would do the same thing. I definitely want to play a Primitive Mold. Even though playing a Primitive Mold, Little Fade doesn't kill something, I still want to play the Primitive Mold. So, play a Primitive Mold. We should play this at the top so that you get your Inspire effects. We get Little Fade. Little Fade dies. Actually, we can get Little Fade to have a kill by playing an Entombed Explosive in the middle and Little Fade in the middle. Because Little Fade survives your hit and then attacks you. Okay, you know? I like that. Little Fade getting a kill in the middle is good. We don't get to kill the Collector. We can do 2 damage to the Collector. That's kind of pointless. I want to play the Echo Break here so that we kill you. Okay, I like how that turn turned out. And this is an example of why Herzl's Compound would not have helped us. Crushing Demise. Alright. I mean, the middle looks pretty bad, so I think we want to play a Crushing Demise in the middle. Crushing Demise in the middle. Let's play our Primitive Mold at the top. We got back the Entombed Explosive, so we're going to play another one. Oh, I should have played the Legion of Wax. I mean, I really wanted to get Little Fade back, but probably still should have played the Legion of Wax. So, if I put Little Fade in the center, Little Fade will not die this turn, and she will kill you after the Entombed Explosive. Okay, so we're getting a kill with Little Fade again. And next turn she'll still be there, so I don't have to Primitive Mold her back like I've been doing every time. And then I really do want to play this Legion of Wax sometime, so I'm going to play it. I will play a Bounding Echoes first. So Legion of Wax goes here. And then an Echo Infusion. We probably just want that on you. I don't want to play the Formless Child this turn, so I think what we're going to do is play a Fatal Melting at the bottom, so that we deal those guys some damage, kill the back one. And then we've got 2 Primitive Molds, which I'm probably going to play to guarantee that we get Little Fade back, honestly. We have Hallowed Halls, though. We could play that in the center. And that would reform Little Fade in the center. And she would get at least 1 kill. Okay, you know what? I think that's worth it. Should we play the Formless Child? We probably want to, but we're going to play this first. Yeah, alright, Little Fade gets a kill. Now, Formless Child, I want to play at the top more than I want to play an Echo Break. So let's play the Formless Child. Unfortunately, doesn't die this turn. So we're gonna have Echo Drain or Ember Drain, but we also have so many dead weights that I don't think the Ember Drain is going to affect us that much because we just won't have cards to play. We did take what, 18 damage there? 18 damage is pretty bad. There's where all of the Echo Breaks were. We can primitive mold the Entombed Explosive if we want. After this turn, I can't get the Legion of Wax back. So I think that it's better to play the primitive molds next turn. Oh, we could Echo Break the Formless Child. Oh, that's interesting. It would give us the Entombed Explosive back? Alright. I guess I'm going to do that, because it also inspires you. And then we have an Entombed Explosive that we could play. Which I will play. And then we Echo Break a couple times against the boss, I guess? The bots. Okay, I don't know what's going to happen next turn. I really want Little Fade to defeat the boss, but I don't know if we can make that happen. But also Little Fade just doesn't do that much. I guess if we play both primitive molds, there's a chance we get back the Entombed Explosive. But the Entombed Explosive survives the first hit and kills the boss, doesn't it? What if we play a Train Steward? Oh. If we play a Train Steward, Little Fade kills the boss. No, it doesn't, because you burn out. Well, it gives us a chance to kill the boss with Little Fade on the next floor. Alright. Oh, but you attack quickly, so you'll kill the boss no matter what. I don't think that there's a way that I could cause Little Fade to be the one that kills the boss. So therefore, what do? We do nothing. We just click end turn. Or we play a couple primitive molds and we just win on this floor if we can. We can play a Formless Child. If we play a Formless Child... Ooh, if we play a Formless Child here... Little Fade now gets the kill. Alright. I managed it. Alright, I do like Faulty Loader. Take that. The Daze 3 is not great for Little Fade, but Little Fade could maybe go on the center floor or something at the very beginning, or go out the second turn of combat. I still think we should take it. Add Endless to a unit. I really want to add Endless to Legion of Wax. I don't know if that's actually a good idea or just an idea that I want. But adding Endless to a unit makes it so that there's less things in my dead pile. I'll take it. Force Contamination, Soul Siphon, Forgotten Trade. Force Contamination is probably good. But I use the word probably there for a reason. I really want to remove cards and gain an artifact. So I guess we're going left. And let's peek in here first. We see an Immortal Stone that also gives Endless to a unit. So that's Good? Probably? Good, probably. Oh, extinguish abilities trigger an additional time? Oh, that's a lot of things, isn't it? Because the entombed explosives do twice as much damage, the Formless Child gives 80 attack, and the Legion of Wax is amazing? Wax or Snuffer is the way. Alright, that makes me feel like we're doing good. Also, Winged Steel is nice, because even though we can't draw all the cards at the beginning of the turn, we could draw one in the middle of it. Better than Herzl's Compound. In many cases, including this one. We definitely want to remove a Train Steward. After that, I have to make a decision. It's definitely not the Primitive Molds. It's not the things that I've specifically added to the deck. It's probably Echo Break. Echo Breaks have been kind of bad. Yeah, the Bounding Echoes haven't been amazing either. But I think I'm going to take out an Echo Break. Alright, Immortal Stone. I think where I most want the Immortal Stone is this Entombed Explosive. We could put it on Legion of Wax. The problem with putting it on Legion of Wax is we won't have space to play Legion of Wax that many times. Yeah, let's put it on the Entombed Explosive. We might put Endless on the Legion of Wax during the battle, though. I don't really care about either of those. So let's save our money and move on. Alright. We could die pretty easily is the problem. The Mark of Invasion we should be able to handle, but there's not a guarantee that we can handle it. It makes a really good way for Little Fade to get in a kill at the beginning. It's just if we don't draw the Shard Soul Carver, if we draw the Legion of Wax, then I don't think we kill all of the ones at the top, unless we also draw an Echo Break. It's a risk, but it's a risk at the very beginning. I'm going to take that risk. We got the Keeper of Echoes, or the Shard Soul Carver, I mean. So that's good. Little Fade is going to go up here and kill one of them and die. That also takes care of the Ember Drain that we would have gotten. And then you are going to kill the other two. I think that we Echo Break one of the ones in the middle. Well, actually, Primitive Mold to Little Fade means that she kills two of them. Yeah. Well, no, that's not true, because you attack first. So you kill two, and then this one will have enough attack to kill Little Fade. I'm still going to wait until next turn for it, though. Because then we can do the Inspire effect. We could also play a Fatal Melting to kill a bunch. And we've got our Legion of Wax. I'm going to play Bounding Echoes. And then I might play a Fatal Melting instead of Little Fade this turn. And therefore we might play a Legion of Wax and put it in the center. I think I'm going to do that. So a Fatal Melting at the top, that also kills the Collector, which is nice. And then we play the Legion of Wax in the middle, where it kills one of them. Now, let's get back Little Fade. So we do that with a primitive mold. Get back Little Fade. Little Fade has Burnout 1 and could kill something up here. She still dies, which is annoying. She doesn't kill anything at the bottom, so we're still going to play her up here, even though she doesn't get hit by them. Yeah, oh well. You're actually killing a bunch of those, which is kind of cool. And then what do I do with my Echo Breaks and Primitive Molds? I think I'm going to play a couple of Echo Breaks at the top just to make space in the hand. And I'm going to play Bounding Echoes and just get rid of them. Ooh, space in the hand is becoming a real problem. Alright. We're playing Echo Breaks at the top solely for your Inspire effect. We don't actually want to kill one of these. We could play Force Contamination. Kind of want to do it on you, but I need to make space in my hand right now. So we're going to do that here. Okay. So we've got space in the hand to draw some things. We could play Hallowed Halls to get back Little Fade, but is that really what we want? Probably not. We would like to play it at some point. So, at the bottom, there are 2 clipped defenders in front. Then there is a Sycophant, Sycophant, and Sycophant. So if we bring back Little Fade right now, which I will do up here, of course, Little Fade kills the back 3 and does some damage to the front one. Oh no, you don't, because you actually die from the last one there. If we gave you 10 more, it might do something, but really I'd rather you get the Inspire and 10 more health. Reform a random unit. Echo Break. I guess we're going to Echo Break up here again just to give you more Inspire. Because the Echo Breaks are basically taking up space. And then Hallowed Halls might be really good to play next turn. At the bottom? No, not this turn. Let's play a Primitive Mold. And a Primitive Mold. And then we've got Legion of Wax and Little Fade that we could play next turn at the bottom. We've got a Formless Child that we could play at the top, because eventually that might be a good thing that we've done. And it draws us a card right now. An Entombed Explosive. Okay, you know what? We're not drawing any cards next turn. Now, at the bottom, we are going to play Little Fade and the Legion of Wax. We don't want to play Little Fade. Do we want to play Little Fade in front? She would die really fast. We don't really want that. This one would die and then deal a bunch of damage to the boss and then die. So I'm going to play Little Fade in back and the Legion of Wax in front. Entombed Explosive could go at the top, but let's not do that. Oh, we win at the bottom? Does Little Fade get a kill? Oh my gosh. The Legion of Wax is amazing. Oh my gosh. The Legion of Wax is amazing. I knew it was going to be really good, but I didn't even expect that level of good. Alright, Memento Mori is obviously pretty nice. Do we want to add it to the deck? Because, you know, maybe we don't want to add too many things to the deck. I do like the Crushing Demise. Especially because we've got Legion of Wax. So Crushing Demise where the Legion of Wax is not so bad. Let's take another Crushing Demise. I don't want these. Skip. So to the right we could duplicate a card. We could duplicate the Legion of Wax? Is that crazy? I like removing 2 cards as well, but I'm thinking that if the Legion of Wax is amazing, why don't we have 2 of them? And it'd be nice to get some more fire health. So, we're doing very little this time. We're just duplicating a Legion of Wax. And getting 15 more pack shards. We're already at 120. Alright, Fell the Wings of Light. Alabaster Guardians have Spell Shield 5. Okay. I think we want Little Fade at the bottom. Doesn't do much this turn because those are dazed. But it will do things next turn, and it will deal with this Alabaster Guardian somewhat slowly. Alright, you're going at the bottom. And then we'll play the Keeper of Echoes, Shard Soul Carver at the top. You will start killing that one. We want our Legion of Wax. Because it's amazing. We got both of our Legions of Wax. I mean, they are amazing. I'm thinking about playing an Entombed Explosive at the bottom. We could still play the Legion of Wax in the center. If we played an Entombed Explosive at the bottom, then you would kill it. You would kill Little Fade. And Little Fade would kill you. Little Fade gets a kill, instead of just dealing some damage. I mean, I like it dealing the damage too, but I do want Little Fade to get a kill. And then the Legion of Wax in the center for the future. And then we're probably going to play a Legion of Wax at the bottom in another future turn. We got a Fatal Melting. A Fatal Melting would kill those. They're not dying from you. And we don't have another way to kill them. So I think we're going to play a Fatal Melting. So that we actually take out all of those. And then we're going to play a Legion of Wax at the bottom. And then next turn, we've got 2 Primitive Molds. We can get back Little Fade. And Little Fade can get some more kills. Because Little Fade is really good too. We just also really like our Legions of Wax. We could Primitive Mold. We could give Endless to something. Okay, so we're going to Primitive Mold. We're going to do it up here even though you gain 10. We got Little Fade. Great. Little Fade is going to go here. And then we're not going to play Primitive Mold again. We will play... We could play the Formless Child, but then you don't die. We could play a Remnant Pact. I don't really want to play a Remnant Pact on Little Fade because then she would have one burnout all the time. I'd rather bring her back. We could put an Endless on a Legion of Wax. I don't really know if that's good. I'd rather put an Endless on this. And I could do that. I would have to play a Primitive Mold. If I played a Primitive Mold up here, Little Fade would no longer kill you. So I'd have to play a Primitive Mold somewhere else, like the bottom. So Primitive Mold, that actually also draws us Echo Transfer, which is really nice. We want to play it on you, but we want to play it on you next turn. But let's play the Entombed Explosive. It's going to burn out. But let's put Endless on it. And oh, that was preserved. We could add Endless to all sorts of units. We don't have space for all of these units, granted. But I'm thinking if that one has Endless, we can always get Little Fade back with Primitive Mold. So, we want to play a Primitive Mold at the top. Even though that gives you some armor. We got a Legion of Wax. Oh no! That was an option that I didn't consider. We could do Force Contamination on you. We could play this at the top, which is not bad. But that still means that one of you is getting to the top and you'll deal 4 damage to my pyre. I'm trying to think about avoiding that. If we do Force Contamination on you, then you will kill him. We could play the Entombed Explosive in the back. I mean, I think I might do that. As dumb as it looks. Because... oh, you get to kill both of those. Oh, great. And then the Entombed Explosive in the back kills the last one. And then we did get a Primitive Mold, with which we could get back a Little Fade. How much damage do you do? It takes 4 times combat damage. Okay, so we could play the Primitive Mold up here. We got Little Fade back. We don't have a... I guess we do have a space to play her. And if we did, then she would kill Sycophant instead of this killing the Sycophant. This would deal damage to the boss, which it's already doing? How's that happening? Wait a minute. Oh. Wait a minute. How's that happening? Because you kill this one with your first hit. And then you kill that one. Oh, you are attacking first before you die, and then you deal 100 damage to the boss. I see. If we played Little Fade at the top, in front, it would kill this one. And not die, which is also kind of a plus right now because we just don't have space. And then we can also do Echo Transfer on you. Alright, I think that was a good turn. We do not have space to play any cards. That's the worst part. We have a Legion of Wax with Burnout 1 that we can play sometime. If there's ever a time where we have space to play it. Which I do not know whether that's going to happen. I kind of want you to get to the top because Little Fade will... Oh, actually Little Fade is burning out. How sad. Alright, I no longer have a wish for you to make it to the top. Everything's dying at the bottom. I'm gonna do a Crushing Demise in the middle. Now we're doing 125 to you. We have units, we just don't have any real place to play them. I guess that we could Echo Break our own Little Fade, since she's burning out, and that will make you better. And that means that we get to draw something. Okay, this is not the final wave. We still have no place to play things, except for the top. And if we played something at the top, we would get Ember Drain, which is pretty meaningless. But we would also have no space to play anything else anytime. Unless we play Crushing Demise or Hallowed Halls, which, you know, those would be nice. I'm gonna play the Formless Child at the top. And the real reason that I'm doing this is so that we can draw one card. We could also play this at the top, but if we did, then if we got back Little Fade somehow, couldn't fit it anywhere. Well, I guess the only way that we get it back is if one of you dies. Because we don't have... We've got one Primitive Mold. One Primitive Mold and 3 Echo Breaks. So you know what? We're putting this one up here too. This one has Endless. This one also has Endless. Alright, we're going to put this one up here too. So the idea here is that we might get to draw an Echo Break to kill one of those and get a Little Fade back. Then we could put a Little Fade at the top. Perhaps. We can play Bounding Echoes. We can play an Echo Break. My gosh, you're already dying. Alright, these guys are ridiculous. You deal 100 damage every time you die. I guess that's a ton of damage. Oh my gosh. Legion of Wax is my best card by far. I really expected Little Fade to be doing more. Okay, we don't want another one. I don't even want the Wickless Recruitment. Well, let's just skip. I'm really thinking about Herzl's Compound. I'm also thinking about Light of Seraph. Let's take a Light of Seraph. So, Merchant of Magic or Merchant of Steel. Let's kind of think about that first. Merchant of Magic could make a Fatal Melting better. It could make some of these cost 0, which would be nice. If we got a Keepstone, I would put a Keepstone on a Primitive Mold. Probably. I'd rather remove 2 cards and do a Merchant of Steel. So, Peak in the Divine Temple. Wingstone and Purge Stone. There's also the Engage Pact. I'm really thinking about Engage Pact on this one, like sacrifice this one to beef up that one. Really thinking about that. Frenzy Stone. Frenzy Stone could go on a Legion of Wax to make it even better. We're probably going to do that. Alright, Champion Upgrade. We could give Little Fade Endless. and every time she dies, she gains health. I mean, it means that... And she's quick. Ooh. It means that she never gets more than 1 health. But I think that's still better than getting 1 more set of spikes and 1 more attack every time on a sleigh. Little Fade being endless means that we can play her over and over and over again, which I think would be great. It does mean that our primitive molds are a lot less important, granted, but they are still more important than echo breaks. Let's remove a couple of echo breaks. Also, this bounding echoes has done basically nothing. But you see, the bounding echoes consumes itself. So, it at least does that. Still thinking about doing that engage back. We're definitely going to add a Frenzy Stone. Frenzy Stone on Legion of Wax. One of the Legions of Wax. We could do a Wick Stone on the other one. The Burnout 1 on a Legion of Wax isn't too bad. Because then they all, like, explode all the time. Yeah, I'm definitely thinking about that. Let's do this. We're going to engage pack. We're going to sacrifice this Entombed Explosive and put it on the one that has Endless. And then let's do the Legion of Wax upgrade with a Wick Stone. So one of the Legions of Wax has a Wick Stone and therefore dies a whole lot and just explodes constantly. And the other one has a Frenzy Stone, so it attacks a whole lot. Alright. Could purge a card, but I think we're going to be good for the next battle, and I'll choose how we're spending our money after that. Enemy units enter with armor 20. Let's not. Ooh, that's a lot of those guys. Alright, well, this is the one with Burnout, and we have a Little Fade which has Quick and Endless. We basically have a really good first start. We can play the Legion of Wax behind and Little Fade in front. Little Fade in front, you're gonna get 1 kill because you'll kill this one and it'll kill you. And then the Legion of Wax will take out those 2, no problem. And then our Shard Soul Carver, of course, goes on the top. I don't know what we're going to do with the Last Divinity with the Shard Soul Carver, by the way. But it doesn't seem to be my most important unit. It's good, it's just not the most important one that we've got. So there is our other Legion of Wax. If we play Little Fade anywhere... I guess if we play Little Fade at the top, she will kill the Collector. Let's do that. So you kill the Collector, and then when this one gets up here, you're going to kill that one too. And then we play this Legion of Wax in the center. So the Legion of Wax in the center is the one that doesn't just explode all the time. The ones at the bottom explode all the time. And we have a Legion of Wax there. So I think that we play the primitive mold to put it back in the hand. Crushing Demise. I'm definitely okay with playing that sometime. We don't have the Ember this turn, of course. My Legion of Wax at the bottom is too efficient at killing things. You're also not dying. I'm noticing that. I don't really need to play any of my cards. We can play Echo Infusion up here. We could play a Primitive Mold just to play a Primitive Mold. Draw more cards. I don't know that we have to do that, but we can do it, and then we could also play Force Contamination so that we make you stronger. And we drew a Deadweight, which, you know, is not the best. I could play a Fatal Melting to get it out of the hand. Seems like something that you don't just want to get out of your hand, but I will. Alright, there's space for a new Legion of Wax at the bottom. And we will play a Bounding Echoes. Bounding Echoes, Legion of Wax at the bottom. Should we do a Crushing Demise first? I guess so. Crushing Demise. Oh, hit the front one. That's the best one it could have hit. Alright, Legion of Wax at the bottom. Endless to something. What in the world would we want to apply Endless to? I have no idea. We could apply Endless to this Legion of Wax. I'm going to play the Bounding Echoes. And then we could just do this up here so it does the infused effect. Sure. If you die, I will be quite sad, but at least you'll have Endless if you die. And we can do the Echo Transfer, and then we can just... We could have done the Echo Transfer on this Legion of Wax too, by the way. I mean, not with having no Echoes there, but it is a good one to put the extra attack on. You all burn out. How about that? Primitive Mold gets back a Legion of Wax. We'll take it. Play the Primitive Mold up here. Get a Legion of Wax. Little Fade is getting no slays because she does not die. I guess we can kill her right now. Alright. Sure. Now we could play her at the bottom sometime. Sometime. Not immediately. Do we play a Crushing Demise to get out of my hand? I guess we do. Alright, there's the Little Fade. I think my deck is very strong, and I don't really know what to do with it. Entombed Explosive. You could fit in front of this one. So we'll play you. And then... I want to play the Hallowed Halls later. I think. Oh, those don't all burn out. Oh, actually, let's play the Hallowed Halls now. Because then we could play this Legion of Wax, Little Fade, and maybe the Formless Child next turn here. And that might kill everything. It might. So, the Legion of Wax is going to go in front. Oh my gosh, we're already winning. Alright, well, we'll add Little Fade here, so at least Little Fade gets a couple of kills. Oh my gosh. Legion of Wax is amazing. I'm so glad it works the way that it does when you give it an extinguish effect via a sacrifice. Alright. Why do we want more cards? We could get another Crushing Demise. You know, I'm gonna take it. I will not take these, though. Having lots of Crushing Demises does not bother me when we're playing what we're playing. I'm gonna go right this time. And we could get a Twin Stone for some reason. We could get a Seek Stone. I don't know if I want either of those. We are at 145 pack shards, so it might be nice to go over 150. Maybe? The units get an extra upgrade slot. Terrible to find at the last ring when you're at the Merchant of Fate. Just saying. When one or more echoes are added to a floor, apply Reap 1 to a random unit. I don't know. It's not so great. I think we've got to reroll these. That does nothing. That does nothing. That does nothing. Wow. We got 0 out of 6 that time. How crazy. 0 out of 6. I guess that means we're depending heavily on the Merchant of Magic. Eternal Stone, we really don't want that. Surge Stone I'd be happy to take. Put it on an Echo Break. Ember Stone we could add to anything and it would be useful. Something that we would want to play every turn that we draw it is the best. I think that's going to be a Crushing Demise. And then reroll. We got a Keep Stone. Alright. What I said before is that I would want to keep stone on a primitive mold, and seeing what just happened there, I'm not sure that that's true. We could get a keep stone and put it on Hallowed Halls. We could get a keep stone and put it on Echo Transfer. Or Echo Infusion. Either of those are pretty nice. That seems like my best choice. Hallowed Halls or Echo Transfer. The Hallowed Halls would mean that we could bring back our... We could reform our Legion of Wax over and over and over again by killing everything on the floor and then putting it back. The problem is you kill the friendly units on the floor and then they have an extinguish effect which fills the... Okay, yeah, that doesn't work. Alright, let's put it on the Echo Transfer. Surge Stone, we can add that to another Echo Break. I'm going to think about that after we think about purging cards. Another Crushing Demise. Sure, another Crushing Demise. We will play those every time we draw them. Okay, let's purge here first. So we're going to purge Abounding Echoes. Those have not turned out to be very valuable. What's my next least favorite card that I have in the deck? The primitive molds are still not bad. They take up some space. The Remnant Pact actually turned out to be not necessarily what we wanted. Adding Endless to Little Fade was fine. But we could take it out. The Formless Child has done basically 0 for me. I think I want to remove the Echo Break next. So if we remove that Echo Break, the Surge Stone only goes on a Fatal Melting, which we don't want to put it on. We could purge a lot more, since the Merchant of Trinkets do exactly 0 for us. We could do a lot more purging, and it's probably a good idea. Twin Stone. I guess I could put it on a Crushing Demise. Okay. We could also put it on Echo Infusion, that's not bad either. Let's put it on Crushing Demise. So now we have over 150 pack shards, and then let's think about anything that we could remove from the deck to make it better. We can't remove Little Fade. A Fatal Melting turns out to be kind of good sometimes. The Crushing Demises are actually quite nice with our Legion of Wax. Bounding Echoes doesn't seem to be that great, so Bounding Echoes is a choice. We could even remove that Echo Break, but it consumes, so I'm not really worried about doing so. We could remove the Formless Child. That would probably make our deck a little bit better. So, Bounding Echoes, Formless Child, perhaps Remnant Pact. Okay, let's remove those three. Remove Bounding Echoes. Remove Formless Child. And remove Remnant Pact. And then we're down to 65 gold. We've actually spent our gold, none of it on artifacts. I'm so surprised. Alright, Seraph the Chaste. Let's go. Removes half of any buff and debuff effect stacks. So, this is the Legion of Wax that has Burnout 1. We usually like to play that at the bottom. You have melee weakness 1, so Little Fade could kill you at the bottom. Let's do that. So Little Fade goes here in front. The Legion of Wax that explodes itself goes here. And then Crushing Demise will play in the center just to kill that one. We got an Echo Infusion. You know, when Little Fade has Endless... Oh, you know what? I thought about keeping the card that gave Endless because of Little Fade. I completely forgot that we upgraded Little Fade so she already has Endless. Let's give her more health. Okay. I like that turn. Okay. Everything is dying. Little Fade is getting a kill, which is good. We've got our Keeper of Echoes, which I'm going to play at the top still. If we had enough space to put this Legion of Wax up there too, I would do that. But anyway, we're going to play this. We're going to play this. And then we're done this turn. Primitive Mold to get this Legion of Wax back is not as good as potentially getting Little Fade back with it. I wouldn't mind either, but I kind of want to get Little Fade so that we could play her somewhere and have her get more kills, so she becomes better. I have no belief that we're going to lose this battle. Oh yeah, Little Fade has Endless. Why do I keep forgetting that? Little Fade has Endless. You know this. Alright, so Little Fade can go at the top and get kills at the top. We can play a Crushing Demise if we wanted to. This turn it doesn't seem very important. We could play a Primitive Mold this turn. We could even play it at the top to get back this Legion of Wax. This Legion of Wax we're going to play next turn. Dealing you 46. Thinking about playing other cards in our hand. Like, maybe we could play a Fatal Melting just because it's not going to do anything anytime soon. And we got another Primitive Mold. Okay. We don't draw many cards per turn. We rely heavily on Magic Hand and hopefully not drawing too many deadweights. Now, we are going to play a Crushing Demise at the bottom. because that seems excellent. We could even play another Crushing Demise at the bottom. Crushing Demise, Crushing Demise. Oh wow, that's kind of good. We could play this Legion of Wax at the bottom. We could play an Echo Break to get rid of it and save health on you. I'm happy with that. We got another Primitive Mold. Well, I like having the Primitive Molds, but I don't know if we need that many of them. So I'm going to play a Primitive Mold up here to inspire you, and I'm going to play a Legion of Wax at the bottom. With Burnout 2, so it's going to start burning out next turn. We got our Endless Entombed Explosive. There's no reason not to play that. There's no reason not to play it in front of the bottom, I think. Forced Contamination at the bottom doesn't really do much of anything for us. We don't want to play Hallowed Halls this turn. The Echo Infusion... I mean, I kind of want it on you. Let's play it on you. And then we'll play it at the top next turn. Basically, we need Echoes to play it, so we don't play it very often. Alright, we're killing that one with a little Fade. I like that. We can play our Endless one in the middle this turn if we want, or nowhere if we want. We can play an Echo Transfer. I'm going to do that on you. And then we can't play Forced Contamination because we don't have the Echoes for it. We can Primitive Mold that Legion of Wax. Better to play it and put the Legion of Wax in my hand and keep holding on to the Primitive Mold. Those are starting to burn out and do lots of things. Things are already dying in the center, but I still kind of want to play this one. And then we're done this turn. And now we basically don't draw cards anymore. But also, like, everything dies. So how bad is that? We have another Echo Transfer. Everything at the bottom, all the enemies at the bottom are dying. And then they'll explode next turn. So let's do Echo Transfer here. We've got a Legion of Wax ready to come out when it's beneficial. And other than that, we do nothing. It's surprising how many times we do nothing. Okay, final wave. We actually don't want those guys there. We want this one there. So this is a good time to play the Hallowed Halls. It just kills those, but it does allow us to play a bigger, better Legion of Wax. Bigger, better Legion of Wax. We're not winning with just that Legion of Wax, which is unusual, but, you know, it happens. We can play the Forced Contamination on Seraph. It won't add much attack. We could play the Echo Transfer on this Legion of Wax, which seems pretty good right now. We also got this Entombed Explosive. That seems pretty good right now, too. Let's do the Forced Contamination on Seraph. Alright, we are almost winning at the bottom. Again. Holy cow. I'm very surprised at how good this is, but it's so good. And then this Legion of Wax obviously kills Seraph no problem. Quick end turn and win. Okay. Oh, we do get something here. I don't know if we want... Oh, we got the Shard of Divinity. Great. If it was blank pages, I think I would skip it. But Shard of Divinity, that one is useful. It more than doubles my fire health. Wonderful. Alright, let's go. Last Divinity, I think we can take you out. The main problem I have is where do we put our non-Legion of Wax guys? The Shard Soul Carver. We could put it at the top, it would just die in a couple turns, which might not be bad either, because we would just continue to bring it back. We could put it at the bottom, technically. I don't know how great it would be to put it at the bottom, though. I think I'd rather have my Legions of Wax at the bottom and the center. So the Shard Soul Carver is going to go at the top. But until it's making us not draw as much, I don't think we play it. So we play the Crushing Demise here. We'll play a little Fade down here too after playing Crushing Demise again. So we play a little Fade down here. She kills the front one. She dies to Last Divinity. You're taking 105. Oh, she kills, which means she gets more spikes. Now, we already drew for the turn. So I think what we do is we play the Echo Transfer on Little Fade, so that Little Fade is even stronger. And then we wait until next turn to consider playing the Shard Soul Carver. We probably will play it. Ooh, okay. Some good things here. We got both of our Legions of Wax. So, the Legion of Wax with Burnout 1 goes at the bottom. The Legion of Wax that does not have Burnout 1, that has Multi-Strike, goes in the center. And then we can Echo Transfer again. We could play Little Fade. If we play Little Fade at the bottom, Little Fade doesn't kill anything. So I actually want to play Little Fade in the center so that she does kill a couple things. Force Contamination, we're going to hold on for a little while. Echo Transfer, we could always do that at the bottom. Okay, everything at the bottom is dying. What absolute nonsense. The Force Contamination I could have removed from my deck as well. That was another option for removal, because we don't tend to need it. And now that we have the Keepstone on that one thing, we are sucking our echoes away more than we're adding them. Okay, we've got a Legion of Wax in there. We might as well play a Primitive Mold at some point. I still see very little reason to play this, but if we have the Ember, we will. I'm really glad that it destroyed one of those. The Little Fade doesn't particularly fit anywhere, but she could go in the center and just deal some damage to the Last Divinity. I mean, that works from the top too, actually. Let's put her in the center. Maybe we don't play this, and we play a Legion of Wax at the top as well. Because we could definitely do that, even this turn. The Shard Soul Carver that we've upgraded so many times is maybe not worth playing. I think it's true, though. I think it is true. So let's play Primitive Mold here, because then we could play the Echo Transfer here on you. And then we could play this Legion of Wax at the top, so it just continues to deal damage to the Last Divinity. I think we want to do the Echo Infusion on you too, because we just don't want you to die that quickly. We could play a Fatal Melting just to play it and get it out of the hand. Feels so weird to do that with a card that I consider quite good, but you know, we did it again. And then click end turn. Alright, you know, this is going really, really well. I'm so surprised we are not playing Keeper of Echo's Shard Soul Carver with 2 red stones in it. Oh my gosh. Ridiculous. Okay, I will play a little Fade in at the bottom, because then she gets a kill and does a bunch of damage to you. We could play Echo Transfer at the bottom. We don't have... You haven't died yet, so we can't Primitive Mold you yet. So this Discipled Inquisitor is interesting because we really need to kill it, and our best way to kill it is actually the Crushing Demise, or Hallowed Halls. Both of those are good ways to kill that. But until we get one of those, how are we going to do this? I think that we play... I think we finally play the Shard Soul Carver at the bottom, since we can't play a Legion of Wax this turn. But if we did that, we couldn't play a Legion of Wax at the bottom next turn, which I'm planning to do. So, never mind. Don't play it. Echo Transfer on Little Fade is fine. And then just deal some damage to you, basically. It's a sad amount of damage, but it works. So Hallowed Halls is here. That's one way that we can take you out next turn. It doesn't work this turn. We need it on a place where our guys explode. So we're done? We're done. Okay. We got Little Fade back, of course. You are dealing a lot of damage. You're also taking a lot of damage. 596. And you guys are burning out. I'm gonna hold on to the Hallowed Halls, I think. We could play Hallowed Halls right now. Ooh. What if we played Hallowed Halls right now, and we put 2 Legion of Waxes at the bottom? Isn't that, like, actually ridiculously amazing? I could even play Little Fade first, so that Little Fade dies again and gets more attack and health. I'm gonna do that. Hallowed Halls. Alright. That's amazing. I still want to add Echo Transfer to the one that has multi-strike, basically. So we're going to continue to do that. And then we draw our Little Fade, of course, which we may not be able to play for a long time. this is ridiculous. I think this is one of the stronger runs I've had. And it's when I'm with the Blighted Existence, which I've died several times against this particular expert challenge, by the way. We got our Echo Transfer, which we can't play. We basically got a bunch of stuff that we can't play. Oh, we could play Primitive Mold. Yeah, we can play Primitive Mold, because that gives us... You're surviving? That's funny. Alright, we play our Primitive Mold. That gives us our Legion of Wax back, which we're going to want back eventually anyway. And then we could also now do an Echo Transfer on you or you. I think the one that has more burnout is going to get it this time. And we're done for the turn. We've got a Legion of Wax that we can play at the top once those at the top die, which is going to be pretty soon. Although, I wonder if we're going to win next turn anyway. Because we seem to be very close to winning. I think we are winning this turn. I'm going to play Little Fade. And I think I'm going to click End Turn, and we win. Oh my gosh. I'm so glad to beat this expert challenge. It has taken me more attempts than any other expert challenge has taken. By a bit of a margin, too. And this deck was absolutely amazing. I like it. Alright. We have... I think that's the time that we Divinity Mastered Legion of Wax, too. Which is an amazing time to Divinity Master Legion of Wax. When it was one of the only things I needed to play. Played it several times. Yep, Legion of Wax gets Divinity Mastered. Extinguished triggers. Haha, that makes a lot of sense. And another clan combination done at rank 25. Extinguished triggers is much higher than my previous best. I think that's appropriate. Also, this is a pretty high score, too. Even ones that I think I've done well in, I've usually gotten in the 50,000s. And this one's a good amount more. Alright. Next time, we're going to the next expert challenge. This run was another clan combination with a max Covenant win. I only have 7 more to go. I completed my 20th expert challenge, 5 more left, and I Divinity Mastered my 257th card. 9 more of those to go. Also, you'll notice I took achievements off this screen since I've earned them all. On the right, I have now killed the Last Divinity 50 times, which is around a 50% win rate. I haven't had one run per video. This one had several losses, and I've also won without going to the Last Divinity a few times. So around a 50% win rate, and most of those wins were at Covenant rank 25. Seraph the Chaste, I've actually never died in his battle. I have won against Seraph the Chaste every time I've seen him. On the left, the Legion of Wax is the card that I Divinity Mastered this time, and it was the core of my entire strategy. This run was a showcase of how incredible the Legion of Wax can become. Hallowed Halls reaches my 10 battle threshold, and it was useful this run, but not used very often, honestly. For artifacts, Waxer Snuffer worked very well with the Legion of Wax, doubling the amount of minions that came out of both the Legion and the Twin, as well as doubling the explosion that occurred when they died. Without this, a single Legion of Wax would explode for 350 damage in increments of 50. With the Waxer Snuffer, A single legion would explode for up to 2,100 damage, as long as the 7-unit maximum didn't interfere. Resin Block reached my 10 battle threshold. It is one of the several clan artifacts I am hoping to bring to 10 by the end of this series. Check out my tracking sheet, link in the video description, new episodes every Saturday, and thanks for watching.